Well, in the spirit of Black History Month, we're going to shine a light on some Black American innovators in the medical field on this week's Nursing the North. And joining us to tell us more this morning is Nurse Christina Paris from the VA. So good morning to you.
Hi, good morning.
Well, thanks for being with us. And this is a great topic for this month. And the people we're talking about today were way ahead of their time, and their work is still very prevalent today. So first, please introduce us to Dr. Richard Drew.
Oh, absolutely. So he was not only a super smart guy, but he was very athletic, too. He actually gained a lot of athletic scholarships, but due to race was actually passed over as, like, football captain. So he persevered and moved on. His career was focused mostly on chemistry and biology, and he was kind of the pioneer or the person we think of when we think of blood plasma and life-saving storage. So he had developed blood banks, which are still used today by the American Red Cross when we go to those blood drives. So very important guy.
Really interesting. All right, well, next we want to know more about Dr. Myra Adele Logan.
Oh, yes. So she came from a mother who was a college graduate as well. And so when you're talking about the early 1900s, you know, that's really unheard of. But then to come from someone who was a doctor, too. She held two degrees, one in psychology and one as a medical doctor. And she worked a lot she worked in Harlem in New York, and was really big on developing a better way to identify breast density, which we see now today in our mammograms. That's how we're able to detect cancer early on in women. Not to mention, she also was one of the first female doctors to participate in open heart surgery, which was only the 9th time it was ever done. So, pretty impressive.
Wow, that is fascinating. Very impressive indeed. All right, well, next, tell us more about Dr. Louis T Wright.
So Dr. Wright was the son of a former slave, and he went on to school. He, in World War II, he was a captain in the U.S. Army and was over in France, where he learned about smallpox vaccinations and then brought that over to our country. So he was one of the first people to do that. He also worked really hard in improving professionalism and quality of care in hospitals in New York, and worked at the Harlem Hospital. And this is in the 20s and 30s, so professional standards weren't really a big thing back then, and he promoted it, built that hospital up, and did great things. We still use those standards today.
That is incredible. And all right, well, up next, our last one here is Dr. Rebecca Lee Crumpler. Tell us more.
Now, she is one of my favorites, and I know I'm really getting short on time, but I'm so excited about all these people. They're really amazing. But she she started out as a nurse, went on to be a doctor. She fought against sexist attitudes. And in fact, when she became a doctor, they wouldn't call her doctor. They called her Mrs. Lee. Wow. They wouldn't call her Dr. Lee, which is really unfortunate. But she persevered. She was really a pioneer in preventative medicine. She reached out to people in her community and knew that, you know, if we can teach people how to take care of themselves and how to maintain a healthy attitude, you're going to have less disease, less disability, and less death, and which is now what we're doing now, preventative medicine. That's how we practice. So way ahead of her time. She was really amazing.
Wow.
And smart. These people were so smart.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, so impressive, and so great to shine a light on all those people. Definitely have saved so many lives throughout history. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to recognize these amazing innovators and their contributions to the medical field.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.